people get mad when they're scared?
Sometimes, yeah, they do.
This is crazy. I'm the one keeping this group going.
We can sort this all out, all right? We can sort this out.
I'll tell you what we need to sort out. We can't let one person fuck this up for everyone else.
Welcome to the Game Philosopher. My name is Ryan, I am the Philosopher, and today I am talking about the episodic point-and-click adventure game, The Walking Dead. Although The Walking Dead suffers from some very severe limitations, the fundamental design of the game is strong. Pushing past some very old and tired tropes of point-and-click adventure games, The Walking Dead is able to create a very modern and refreshing take on a retired genre.
Out.
The design of the game's mechanics are its strongest point. Looking past some technical issues, the game plays very nicely. It does away with many mechanics that limited old point-and-click games. Through the removal of many mechanics, the game is able to succeed its point-and-click predecessors. Maybe its smartest choice is its lack of an inventory. Your character does pick up items and carry them with him, such as a walkie-talkie, but as a player you cannot interact with them. This completely eradicates the tireless random clicking in the point-and-click days of yore. This decision is additionally beneficial as it keeps you immersed, and doesn't slow the pace of the game when not intended.
Look, we don't know if these people are dead.
If they come back, then we're just monsters who came out of the woods and ruined their lives.
At the core of each episode is a set of choices posed to the player. The player is only faced with two paths to take, an A choice or a B choice, but happily the choices are varied and unexpected. These choices sit at the core of the game, and the rest of the game is designed to support these moments of choice. The episodic game design, the choice metrics at the end of each episode, the previously on The Walking Dead narrated preface to each installment, and even the end of the game all support these moments of choice and point to the real importance in the design of the game. The game is very obviously and deliberately focusing on these moments of choice, as it should. Another very well designed mechanic of The Walking Dead is its dialogue timers. In all other games featuring dialogue, see Deus Ex, Human Revolution, Skyrim, or even Mass Effect, the dialogue with NPCs is, at times, unnatural and forced, as the NPC is obviously following a very restricted dialogue tree. Dialogue is at the very center of The Walking Dead, so Telltale Games created a way to eliminate the limitations of these traditional dialogue systems. They did this through dialogue timers. During dialogue moments, a bar will appear limiting the amount of time the player has to pick their response. If the player runs out of time, then the main character will say nothing and the conversation will progress naturally. The time on the bar even changes to reflect the urgency of the decisions. This does wonders for keeping the immersion high, as the progression of conversations is very fluid and paced naturally like conversations in the real world.
For you, I choose my next words very carefully.
What do you want from me? Whatever it is, I'll do it. You can let her go.
I want you to never hurt anybody again. This isn't a kidnapping, Lee.
Though what The Walking Dead makes up for in mechanics, it lacks in technical execution. These technical issues are brought under even more scrutiny as they taint the nice design of the mechanics. At the forefront of these limitations is animation. It is very difficult to stay immersed when the animations are so blocky and obviously scripted. With the game focusing so much on dialogue and human interaction, it saddens me to see subpar animation. Although at the game's core sits some very good game design, there are equal amounts of bad game design on the periphery. One such example is the point of view. The game is primarily third person, but would switch to first person at seemingly random points. I believe the designers wanted to use this change in perspective to create tension during intense moments, which is somewhat successful, though this shift in point of view did more to distract me. The game doesn't seem to know what point of view it is in. The dialogue is all in third person, and the controls are primarily third person. So why does the game seem to arbitrarily shift perspective? As a player, I am never really sure of where I am in relation to the game. I'm certainly not the main character, even though I control him. I feel more like some sort of puppeteer pushing the main character along a path and making decisions for him. I never felt as if I were actually him. I wasn't able to project myself onto the main character because the camera doesn't follow him directly. Yes, the main character is always on screen because I am controlling him, but the camera didn't move relative to him, giving me the sense that I embodied the camera and not the main character himself. This also created a weird rift in immersion. I desperately wanted to be immersed, as these characters are easily relatable and I cared for them, though this concern was limited as my personal relation as a player to the game and to the characters was unclear. This lack of clarity and perspective also carries over to a misunderstanding in the separation between a cutscene and actual gameplay. Since the game tries so hard to blur the lines between its cutscenes and its gameplay, I was sometimes unsure of when I was in control of the game or when I was just watching it. I found myself actually taking my hands off the keyboard during actual gameplay because I thought it was a cutscene. Then when the game threw a quick decision at me, I wasn't able to respond in time simply because I didn't know I was still playing. I'm also not sure why the designers chose this art style. The game deals with harsh realities of life and dire situations, yet used a very fun and cartoony art style. The game never uses contrast to its advantage, so the art style feels like a simple choice based on budgets.
To drive it?
Sure don't. I can give you a hell of a critique of the U.S. Farm Bill, though.
I'm good.
The game showed more potential than it did anything else. During play, I found myself imagining what it would be like if Telltale Games took these same ideas, polished them a bit, and then applied them to other subject matter. Imagine for a second the same game except it dealt with slavery, nuclear warfare, or even terrorism. Imagine the novel The Road put into this type of game. I do commend Telltale Games for pushing past the tedious crutches of the point-and-click genre, but the game design certainly falls apart a bit on the margins. Though at its core, The Walking Dead features some strong design, especially considering they are able to successfully modernize an old genre.
Think this thing will keep them out?
Not yet. I'm planning on coming back through on a fortification pass, if you will. We'll lock this place up good.